Have you ever stood at the bedside of someone you love, someone who is nearing the end of their journey, and felt a profound silence? Not because there was nothing to say, but because you were utterly terrified of saying the wrong thing. It's a moment steeped in emotion, often a mix of love, sorrow, helplessness, and an overwhelming desire to offer comfort. We want to be a source of solace, a steady hand in a turbulent time. Yet so often, our own fear and discomfort lead us to utter phrases that, despite our best intentions, can actually cause more pain or alienate the very person we wish to hold close. It's a painful reality that in our attempt to fix or minimize the suffering, we sometimes miss the true opportunity to connect. We clutch at platitudes, reach for easy answers, or shy away completely, all because we haven't learned the simple, powerful truth about what these final conversations truly need. The secret isn't about having all the right answers or profound wisdom. It's often about knowing what to avoid, creating space for authentic connection rather than inadvertently shutting it down. In this discussion, we're going to gently explore 7 common things people often say to someone who is dying. Things that might feel natural to us, but can deeply wound or isolate the person receiving them. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can do instead. What words and actions truly bring comfort and peace. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about the most powerful gift you can offer. Let's begin by addressing one of the most common responses born from our own discomfort with pain. The well-meaning but often hurtful command to stay strong, or don't give up, or the dismissive, you'll be fine. Imagine for a moment. You are at a point in your life where your body is failing. Perhaps you are in pain, or simply profoundly weary. You are facing the ultimate unknown, and every ounce of your energy is focused on simply existing, maybe even just breathing. Then, someone you care about comes to you and urges you to stay strong. What does that really mean in this context? Does it mean you haven't been strong enough already? Does it imply that if you just tried a little harder, you wouldn't be in this situation? It can inadvertently suggest that their current state, their weariness, their fear, is a failure on their part. It minimizes the immense struggle they are enduring, placing an unfair burden on them to perform emotional resilience when all they may want is to simply be. When we tell someone who is dying to fight or stay strong, we're often projecting our own fear of their loss or our inability to accept the inevitable. We want them to fight because we can't bear the thought of losing them. But they might be beyond fighting. They might be ready to rest. But what they often need most is permission to simply be. To feel whatever they are feeling without judgment or pressure to put on a brave face for our sake, instead of urging them to fight. Try validating their current experience. You might say, "It looks like you're going through so much right now, and I'm so sorry. I'm here, and I'm thinking of you." Or, "I can only imagine how difficult this must be." This acknowledges their pain without demanding they overcome it. It's about offering presence, not solutions. Another phrase that often stems from a place of spiritual or philosophical comfort for the speaker, but can be deeply unhelpful for the dying person, is "it's God's will," or "at least you lived a long life." While these sentiments might bring solace to some, they can land very differently for someone facing their own mortality. For a person who is dying, especially if they are wrestling with questions of faith or feeling a sense of unfinished business, being told it's God's will can feel like a dismissal of their very real fear, grief, or anger. It can imply that their struggle is irrelevant in the grand scheme, or that they should simply accept their fate without question. Not everyone finds comfort in this particular explanation, and it can sometimes feel like a way for the speaker to make sense of the situation for themselves, rather than truly connecting with the dying person's individual experience. Similarly, saying, "at least you lived a long life," can be incredibly dismissive. While a long life is indeed a blessing, it doesn't erase the pain of leaving it behind. It doesn't negate the sadness of missed future moments, or the fear of separation from loved ones. Imagine living to a ripe old age, filled with love and experiences, but still feeling like there's more you wanted to do, more time you wanted to spend with your grandchildren, or simply more sunrises you wanted to see. To be told, "at least you had a long life can make one feel ungrateful for their remaining sadness, as if their grief over what they are losing is somehow invalid because they've had more than others. Instead of imposing your spiritual beliefs or minimizing their loss, focus on their feelings. You could say, "I'm so sorry you're going through this," or "What are you feeling right now?" If they bring up their spiritual beliefs, then you can follow their lead. If they talk about their life, affirm its value without attaching a "but at least." You might say, "Your life has meant so much to me, and I'm so grateful for every moment we've shared." This validates their life's impact and acknowledges their current moment of loss without diminishing it. And then there's the phrase, often uttered with deep empathy, yet so rarely true for the speaker, "I know how you feel," unless you have truly walked in their exact shoes, facing the very same diagnosis, the very same prognosis, the very same fears. It's highly unlikely you know exactly how they feel, even if you've lost a loved one or faced a serious illness yourself. Every journey toward the end of life is profoundly unique. When we say, "I know how you feel," we risk making their unique and terrifying experience about us. It can inadvertently shift the focus from their pain to our own. And the person dying might feel like their specific suffering isn't being truly seen or understood. They might feel like they need to comfort Nasjurki. Mizu tiuikos anta normal, the dirist. Or stortin di or anson wanit ans kodri kernak and suraki. Not to ensure. Upon knowledge our experience, when they are the ones who need all the comfort and attention, instead of claiming to understand something that is inherently unknowable to anyone but them. Offer genuine compassion and a willingness to listen. A more honest and supportive approach would be, "I can't even imagine what you're going through right now, but I want you to know I'm here for you in whatever way you need." Or, "Please know that I'm thinking of you. If there's anything you want to share, I'm here to listen without judgment." This acknowledges the depth of their experience without making assumptions. It opens the door for them to share their unique feelings, fears, and thoughts, rather than feeling obligated to fit their experience into your preconceived notions. It's about being present and open, allowing them the space to articulate their truth without feeling the need to align with yours. The key is active listening, not projecting. Your role is not to have the perfect answer, but to offer a safe harbor for their emotions. Moving forward, let's consider another common pitfall: asking intrusive questions or offering unsolicited advice about their affairs or readiness for death. Phrases like, "Have you gotten everything in order?" or "Have you made your peace with everything?" often come from a place of genuine concern about their practical and spiritual well-being. We worry about loose ends, about their comfort with the transition. However, these questions, especially if unprompted, can feel incredibly intrusive, judgmental, or even accusatory. They might imply that the dying person is somehow failing if they haven't completed every task or achieved a state of serene acceptance. Death is a deeply personal and often chaotic process, not a checklist to be completed. Forcing conversations about wills, funeral arrangements, or spiritual reconciliation can add immense pressure and anxiety. Rather than comfort, some people may have already taken care of these things, while others may be too ill, too tired, or simply not ready to address them. And for many, making peace isn't a single event but a complex, ongoing process that may or may not happen in the way others expect. Instead of direct questioning, offer practical support without making assumptions. You could say, "Is there anything at all that I can help you with today? Anything that would make you feel a little more at ease?" This opens the door for them to ask for help with practical matters if they wish, without you forcing the issue. If they bring up spiritual matters, you can respond with genuine interest and openness. "Would you like to talk about that more?" Your role is to support their choices and their process, not to guide or judge it. The focus should always be on their comfort and needs in the moment. It's about being a resource, not an interrogator. Providing comfort often means respecting their autonomy and their timeline for dealing with these profound matters, knowing that sometimes What they need most isn't practical assistance, but simply a hand to hold or a quiet presence. Then there's the well-intentioned, but often damaging, habit of offering unsolicited medical advice or promoting miracle cures. This often sounds like, "Have you tried this new supplement?" Or, "My friend's cousin cured themselves with this alternative therapy." This usually stems from our desperate hope that they might somehow be saved, that we can find a way to prevent the inevitable. However, when you suggest unproven treatments or alternative therapies, you are, perhaps unknowingly, undermining their medical care team, dismissing their current reality, and placing an immense burden of responsibility onto the dying person. It implies that if they just tried hard enough, or found the right cure, they wouldn't be in this situation. This can induce guilt and a feeling of failure, as if their illness is their fault for not fighting hard enough or trying the right thing. It also gives false hope, leading to emotional exhaustion and often financial strain. A person who is dying is often under the care of doctors and specialists who are doing everything they can. Their focus, and yours, should shift from cure to comfort and quality of life. Instead of suggesting remedies, focus on what they need for peace and ease. You could ask, "What brings you comfort right now?" Or, "How are you feeling today?" If they express concern about their symptoms, you could gently ask, "Is there anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable?" This respects their medical journey and empowers them to communicate their immediate needs. Rather than feeling obligated to research or pursue unproven treatments, it's about being present with their suffering, not trying to fix it with an easy answer. Our job is to walk alongside them, not to pave a different path for them. Another phrase that, while understandable, can shift the focus away from the dying person is talking excessively about your own grief or loss. We naturally feel immense sadness when someone we love is dying, and it's natural to want to share that pain. You might say, "I don't know how I'll live without you," or, "I'm going to miss you so much. It breaks my heart." While these feelings are incredibly valid and real for you, the dying person is often focused on their own process of leaving, their own fears, and their own loved ones they are leaving behind. When we center the conversation on our anticipated grief, it can place an emotional burden on them, making them feel responsible for our pain. They might feel the need to comfort you. I seek comfort in their final moments, which is an unfair demand on their limited energy and emotional capacity. Their priority is their own peace and the people they are leaving behind, not our future suffering. Instead of burdening them with your grief, focus on expressing your love, gratitude, and the positive impact they've had on your life. You could say, "I love you so much. Thank you for all the joy you've brought into my life." Or, "I am so grateful for every moment we've shared. You've taught me so much." This affirms their value and the meaning of their life, without asking them to carry your emotional load. If they initiate a conversation about what life will be like without them, then you can respond with honesty and vulnerability, but always circling back to their comfort. The aim is to make their remaining time about them, about their feelings, their memories, and their peace, not about your anticipated mourning. Your love is a gift. Ensure it's given in a way that truly serves them in their final moments. Finally, and perhaps most painfully, is the silent avoidance. This isn't a phrase, but rather the absence of words, the absence of presence itself. When we are uncomfortable with death, or simply don't know what to say, we sometimes pull away. We might stop visiting, stop calling, or when we are there, we become awkwardly quiet, avoiding eye contact or sensitive topics. This can be the most hurtful thing of all for someone who is dying, feeling abandoned, forgotten, or that their impending death makes others too uncomfortable to be near them. Can be devastating. Isolation can amplify fear and loneliness. They might interpret your absence or silence as a sign that you no longer care, or that they are too difficult to be around. Your discomfort should never supersede their need for connection and love. The most powerful thing you can often say and do is simply, "I'm here," and then truly be there. This means showing up, even when it's hard. even when you don't know what to say. It means sitting in comfortable silence, holding a hand, reading a book aloud, playing their favorite music, or simply being a quiet, loving presence. Sometimes, the most profound conversations happen without a single word, through eye contact, a gentle touch, or just shared space. If you're feeling awkward, you can even acknowledge it gently. I'm not sure what to say right now, but I want you to know I'm here, and I love you. This vulnerability can actually create a deeper connection. Your presence communicates love, acceptance, and comfort far more powerfully than any perfectly crafted phrase ever could. Being present is the ultimate act of love, allowing them to feel seen, valued, and not alone as they navigate this profound transition. It's a testament to the enduring bond you share, a bond that transcends words and even life itself. So, as we bring our thoughts together, remember that navigating conversations with someone who is dying isn't about mastering a script or avoiding every possible misstep. It's fundamentally about showing up with an open heart, an empathetic spirit, and a willingness to be present in their experience, rather than trying to manage your own discomfort or impose your own agenda. We've talked about stepping away from demands to stay strong and instead validating their true feelings. We've explored why it's better to avoid spiritual or longevity platitudes like, "It's God's will," or "At least you lived a long life," and instead, to truly honor their unique journey and personal grief. We've learned that claiming "I know how you feel" can diminish their experience, and that genuine empathy comes from acknowledging that you can't imagine, but you are there to listen. We've also seen how intrusive questions about their affairs or well-being can add pressure, and why offering practical, non-judgmental support is far more beneficial. We've understood that pushing miracle cures or unsolicited medical advice can undermine their peace, and that your role is to support their comfort, not their cure. And finally, we've reflected on how focusing too much on your own grief can inadvertently burden them, and that the greatest gift is to express your love and gratitude directly to them. The surprising thing I promised you, the most powerful gift you can offer, isn't found in carefully chosen words, but in your raw, unfiltered presence and your unconditional love. It's about being brave enough to sit in silence, to hold a hand, to simply witness their journey without needing to fix it, explain it, or change it. It's about letting go of your own fears surrounding death and choosing to step fully into love. When someone is dying, they don't need eloquent speeches or grand gestures. They need to feel seen, heard, and deeply loved. They need to know they are not alone. Your presence, your quiet strength, your willingness to just be with them in their vulnerability is the most profound comfort you can offer. It reassures them that they are cherished, that their life mattered, and that even as they approach the end of their path, they are surrounded by warmth and acceptance. Remember, small changes in how we approach these tender moments can make an immeasurable difference, not just for them, but for us, allowing us to connect in truly meaningful ways and leave no words unsaid that should have been spoken from the heart. Have you faced similar situations? What did you find most helpful or hurtful when someone you loved was nearing the end of their life? Share your wisdom and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be a comfort to so many others navigating these difficult waters. If this discussion resonated with you, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to our channel for more helpful content designed to support you in living your best life at every age. Thank you for listening, and remember to cherish every connection, every moment. Live your best life at every age.